Okay, we have two missions for today. First one is to go check and make sure the sky is not falling over the COVID-19 epidemic. Second is to fly the Solo again and try out some different configurations that some suggestions have been given to me. Let's get her done. Okay, we're up and we're flying. Woo, it's a crisp day, but I had to get out and fly. Full disclosure, I have been sick in bed for the last 9 days. Yesterday is my first day of when I actually started feeling better, and based on all of the information that I was able to gather, I did have COVID-19. I believe that I was infected by a buddy of mine that returned from New Orleans. So he was down in the States, came back, and I think I got it from him. Problem is that they wouldn't test me because I had not come back from any place outside the country within the last 14 days, and that I had not been in contact with anybody that had been tested positive. So, long story short, I was in bed for about 5 solid days, had all the classic signs and symptoms that they're reporting on. Hold on, gotta get up. All right, just had to get out of some bumps. So in consultation with my doctor and my health nurse at work, they suggested that I just quarantine myself for the 14 days. My message is self-isolation and self-quarantining doesn't mean you gotta stay at home and lock yourself in your room. I can get no further from anybody else than to be up here in the open, uninfected sky. And so far, based on my assessment, the sky is not falling. Even though our life in the short term has definitely changed, we're going to see impacts. You know, countries are on lockdown, schools are closing. You know, anything that relates to the gathering of people is suspended. And that, I think, is just for the benefit of the population of its entirety. I highly recommend that you get out, enjoy the fresh air, and do some flying. But anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. But for the remaining 5 days of my self-isolation, here we are. Woo! You know, and everybody's plans are going to change. I had already booked my flights and my hotels to attend the Coupe Car in France in September. And who knows, like, I'm kind of assuming that it's going to get canceled. But we'll have to wait and see, you know. So it affects everybody. But on a personal happiness, on a personal level, from your day to day, you can't stop living, man. You got to get out and enjoy it. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. So we are in a form of aviation, a sport that allows us to get out and enjoy the world from a very unique perspective. So I highly encourage everybody who can, get out and fly. It'll change your whole vibe. So do that. So part 2 of my mission was today to continue to fly the Dudek Solo. If you haven't seen my last video and my first impressions of the wing, check it out. Excuse me. Part of the 2 criticisms that I had was the Velcro around the tip steering and that there's no 2D steering. But it was suggested that some of the guys are using both the brake and the tip steering kind of in combination to make up a 2D steering. So I thought I might give that a try. and see how it works and see how it feels. All right, so I've got the trims out. We've gained a little bit of altitude, so I'm just gonna see how this might work. All right, so what I'm seeing is that the brake line length is longer than what the tip steering length is. So when I grab the brake and the tip steering, I can engage the tip steering, no problem, but the brake line I can't engage because of the extra length, see? So I can see that with a person's own personal wing, if you adjust the brake length to a shorter distance, then there's a possibility that you could perceivably do 2D steering that way, but simply the way that it comes, you can't do it like this. You know, I tried wrapping it around my wrist to see if I could do it that way, but it doesn't work. There's a possibility, but it's still not great because you gotta kind of screw around with everything and get the way that it could be done with 2D. Whereas if the lines were just automatically hooked in, you wouldn't have to worry about doing all the messing around. So, oh well, we tried on the launch today. What I'm finding is the wing comes up really nice. It's light, and with other wings, if I did the same thing, it feels very lofty. I really have to get those brakes in because it feels like it's going to overfly me, but it doesn't. That's kind of the weird thing. It doesn't want to overfly. That's just kind of what I'm seeing. You know, so it comes up really nice and light, but it feels like it's going to collapse, but it doesn't do that. So I guess take that for what it's worth. You know, it comes up and it stays there. And I really have to hit those brakes down and get that forward momentum to get the launch. I've yet to blow one on this wing, so far so good. So as much as I don't want to make light of the COVID-19 situation, the sky is not falling up here. Just so you guys know, life will march on, and I think our human nature is to adapt and overcome, and in a time of crisis to help each other, and I have no doubt that that's what's going to happen in this situation. So let's not be paralyzed by fear, keep calm, and fly on. Woo! I just noticed these straps flopping around here, less desirable. They wouldn't reach the prop, but I do have to go and Velcro those down. I think I was doing some adjustments to my harness and I forgot to put those in. My bad. Ground is a little slippery. That's all right. All right, let's get some warmth back in my extremities. Yeah, you see, this would never get back to my prop. Tuck it up into this little pocket here so that it doesn't flap around. Minor technicality. For those of you that may have this Bellini 190 engine, I had traditionally been always running it with avgas. My experience was it didn't run the way that it should. It didn't run great. The last little while, I've changed this engine over to just Supreme gas out of the pump, and I cleaned it out with a run of Seafoam. And I don't know, just from the first couple hours of flying it, it's never run as good as it does right now. It starts good. It's in flight. It's runs great. It doesn't stall out like it used to. So that has been really good. I did have to put a new starter on this. I think that's what happens when you get plastic and metal parts together, over time, just the vibration, the wear breaks down the plastic faster than it does the metal. Anyway, Pellinis have got a new handle, which is kind of very much similar to the Viterazzi's handle now, so that's good. But no, she's running good, so knock on wood, stays that way. Winds are starting to kick in a little bit here, so I think my flying window is done. It is midday, so been minus 100 here the last little while, and that's all right. At least I got to fly for a little bit. We're going to have to, unfortunately, nicely pack this beautiful baby up and send it back home. But I hope to one day fly it again. Like, look at that. It just wants to sit there. Maybe I should wait a while and see if the winds kind of subside, maybe? I don't know. It just wants to just sit right there. Alright. Well, we're going to wait it out for a little bit, see if we can fly again or not. But from self-isolation, be well, everybody.